Welcome back. In this video, we will start learning Python programming. Through this video, we can understand the complex environment, the installation process of Python, master the data structure and data types, conditional statements and loop statements, functions and modules of the Python. Applies the Python programming basics to actual scenarios. We will learn the Python programming from these three sections. Firstly, let's see the introductions to Python. Let's firstly talk about the founder of Python, Guido van Rossum. He was born and raised in New Zealand. He received a master's degree in mathematics and computer science from the University of Amsterdam in 1982. In the same year, he joined the centrist Loginto Informatica as a research. In December 1989, Guido had been looking for a hobbyist programming project. At that time, his office was closed, and he was busy with his project during the week around the Christmas. During that time, he decided to write an interpreter for a new scripting language he had been thinking about lately, a descendant of ABC that would appeal to Unix C hackers. He attributes choosing the name Python to be a slightly irreverent mood, and he is also a big fan of Monty Python flying circus. Guido believes that the ABC programming language specially designed for programmers was elegant and powerful, but it didn't succeed because it is not open. So Guido decided to avoid this issue. Python is well integrated with other programming languages like C, C++, and Java. In this same time, he wanted to implement the flashing ideas in ABC, then Guido created Python. Actually, Python was firstly run on Mac computer. By the way, the language modulars influenced Python also very much. Python is one of the achievements of free software. Python is purely free software, and both its source code and the interpreter complete with GNU, General Public License protocols. According to the Free Software Foundation Europe, Python is freedoms to use, copy, modify, and redistribute software. These advantages are necessary for equal participation in the information age. Software is tradable, which is most important essence of free software. Python is engineering but not art. It is a wonderful language. There should be one, and probably only one, obvious way to do it. Simple is better than complex, and explicit is better than implicit. So what is Python? Python is easy to learn and a functional programming language. Python has an effective advanced data structure and enables the simple and rapidly object-oriented programming. With a beautiful syntax, dynamic types, and good interpretability, Python has become an ideal language in terms of scripting and developing apps on most platforms. So Python has rich and powerful databases. It glues together various software components, especially C and C++. This is why it is called the glue language. In the typical application, a software prototype is quickly created using Python, and the companies with special requirements are created using other more suitable language. For example, the quest rendering models in 3D games, which requires the high performance, and it can be rewritten by C or C++, and then packaged as the extensions class, and the class also can be called by Python. It should be noted that extension classes may not span multiple platforms. Python can apply to programming in many fields. Data science. Data science includes the data analysis, data mining, and data learning, and natural language processing, and artificial intelligence. And also writing system tools, development application with graphical UIs, and writing network-based software, and interacting with database, and other fields. For Python statements, objects can be changed during execution, so it is dynamic language. Python used indentation in depth of the pairs of clear breaks and to divide a block of statements. Multi-statements on one line are separated by semicolon. The symbol used for commenting out a line as well, and dot string ellipsis is to use the comment out multiple lines. Variables don't need to type definitions. Functional programming is a rival. Compared with other languages, you can understand Python better. When it compares to C languages, Python is dynamic language while C is static. So what's the difference between Python language and C language? Static types language checks any violation before you running your programs, whereas in dynamic types language, the error is given when the programs is running and goes to the part where the validation has been done. So memories is managed by the developer in C, but Python is managed by the interpreter. And Python has many libraries, but C has no standard libraries for the hybrid tuple and hash tables. And Python can't be used to write a kernel, but C can write. C or C++ can expand Python functions based on the Python APIs. When we compare with Shell, the Python has a simple syntax and is easy to transplant. And Python can reuse the code and embrace the simple code design and advanced data scratch and modules components, while Shell has longer scripts. Compared with Java, Java is also static language. Python supports object-oriented and functional-based programming, while Java only supports object-oriented programming. Python is simpler than Java and typically applies to quick prototyping. Python and Java enables multi-programmers to deliver a large project together step by step. So we compare with other languages, Python has many advantages, and we can summarize from these 10 sides. Because Python has a few keywords, simple scratch, and explicit syntax, so it is simple and easy to learning. And Python is one of free and open source software, so it is open source. Python programming does not need to compile into binary code and can be directly run from the source code, so it is interpretability. For its transplantability, Python has been transplanted to multi-platforms thanks to its open source nature. The platforms include Linux, Windows, and OS, and BOS, and some other systems. For its scalability, if you want to speed up running of some key codes or keep some algorithms not open, you can write some programs using C or C++ and use them in Python. When you write programs in Python, you don't need to consider the underlying layer details, like how to manage the memory that your programs use. So it is the advanced language. Python can be embedded in C or C++ programs to provide scribing to the programmer. So it is embedded. And Python has the huge standable library. It can help you with all kinds of work, including regular expressions, document generations, unit tests, and managed so on, and it has the many rich libraries. Python supports both process-oriented programming and object-oriented programming. In a process-oriented language, a program is built from the process or a function that is merely reused code. In an object-oriented language, programs are built from the combination of data and functionality. Also, many development environments can write in Python language. We can use Vim, IDLE, Submit Text, and Eclipse. In Linux, we often use VRM editor. It is the lightweight IDE. If you don't install too many plugins or plug-in performance, now we can use Vim for development. Because it has the low requirement on hardware, Vim can achieve a consistent programming experience on local and remote servers. It has the repeat editing speed. The speed of what you think is what you have. The TIOBE programming community index is an indicator of the popular of programming languages. The index is updated once a month. The ratings are based on the number of skilled engineers worldwide, courses, and third-party vendors. Popular search engines such as Google, Bing, Yahoo, Wixers, Amazon, YouTube, and Baidu are used to calculate the ratings. It is important to note that the TIOBE index is not about the best programming language, or the language is in which most line of the code has been written. From the picture, we can see Python ranked the third. In this year, on February 6, the rate of the Python is 7.574%. It raised by the 2.41% than last year. We can see Python become more and more welcomed. Now, Python has many versions. The newest version is 3.8.0. We can divide these versions into the big two versions, Python 2 and Python 3. There are some differences between these two versions. Python 3 can't be backwards compatible with Python 2. Users should decide which version of language is to be used. Many libraries are only for Python 2, but the development team has reaffirmed the end of support for Python 2 and have promoted more libraries only for Python 3. Judging from the number of Python packages that are supported by Python 3, so Python 3 has become increasingly popular. Python 2 uses ASCII strings. Unicode strings are more versatile than ASCII strings and are not the byte types. Python 3 uses Unicode strings and a byte class. In Python 2, integer division is similar to most of the languages that we are familiar with, such as Java and C. The result of integer division is an integer and the fractional part of the totally ignored. For a floating point division, the decimal part will be retained to get the result of the floating point number. In Python 3, integer division no longer does so, which means that the result will also be floating point numbers for dividing the integers. In Python 3, harding exceptions has also changed slightly, and we now use as a keyword in Python 3. The syntax for catching exceptions is changed from exceptor the var to exceptor exe as the var. In the Python 2, exception in the code not only express the program's error but also often do something as a common control structure should do. In Python 3, the designers make the exceptions single purpose and use them to capture statements only in case of errors. In Python 3, range is implemented as xrange so that a dedicated xrange function no longer exists. Python 3 removes the long type and now has only one integer int, but it behaves like a long type in Python 2. Python 3 has a new byte type. Okay, let's start to use it. First, we should install Python. If you use the Linux systems, you can download the Python package like this and install, and then you should create the software connections like this. And finally, you can type Python v to check if you installed it successfully. If you use the Windows systems, you can download the official Python startup program. So we will download the official Python setup program. We often select the version 3.6 and we download the installs files. If you download it, double-click the setup program and then add the environment variables. Choose my computer and properties and then select advanced, and when we choose environment variables and enter your Python installer's location in path. After that, we can verify our installations and we start our programs and then double click the Python 3.6 and we start the Python command lines, and then we type the print hello world. If the output is hello world, it indicates that the installation was successful. After install Python, we can type Python 3 to start to write our Python programming in command windows. You can use command lines or use scripts to type your Python programs and to execute it. Okay, now we finished this part, and in this video we know the history of the Python and how to store it and how to use it, and also we introduced some advantage of the Python. And in next video we will introduce the data scratch in Python. And thank you for watching. Bye.